Hey guys, it's Brian back at you again here at Hostirian. We're going to talk about today. Let's get this camera right. What we're going to talk about today is website building, website design. We had a client. We have actually a lot of clients that have trouble with their website. It's always like the first things that we first glance we can see, and we see those things because as a business owner, building a website is really not like your main thing. You're just doing it because you know you need it. And everybody knows that. You must have a website because your website is your one spot to have definitive information in the world on the internet about your business. So obviously you need it there. So you know you need it, but obviously when you're starting your business in the very beginning, you know that, okay, funds are tight. So maybe you want to just kind of like knock something out here. So we had a lot of clients actually that come through and want us to build their websites for them and just take that off of their plate. And usually it's at that point when your frustration goes from like here to like there, right? You're like, all right, I'm done. I had enough. I'm out. And with this particular client, it was the same thing. They tried to build it on Wix, couldn't get their website to do what they really needed to do. They were frustrated with trying to move things around. They tried to go to the WordPress way, and it was an epic fail. There's definitely much more of a learning curve on the WordPress side of it versus the website builders like Wix. So I wanted to give you guys some 5 tips that we know that are usually some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're building your websites, okay? So if you are going to go about it yourself, these are some things I want you to make sure you're conscious of so you don't fall in that trap, you get frustrated, and your mind's off of your business. Okay, mistake number one, your website must have a message, right? Being that your website is the definitive spot for your business, you need to let people know what it is that you do. What is the point of your product and your service, okay? Now, that can be done in a bunch of different ways, but more importantly, it has to be there. You need to be able to read your website and glance over and say, okay, I can tell you're a plumber. All right, I can tell you're a dance studio. I can tell that you are a veterinary clinic just from looking at the first page. Okay, so you need to have a strong, powerful message. Mistake number 2 is a call to action. When soon as you go to the website, in the very tip top, right, this little spot like there, as soon as you click there needs to be a message, a headline, and there needs to be a call to action, right? And a call to action is simply something you're asking the client to do to become a client, right? That's a book now, schedule your appointment, buy today, get started. Whatever makes sense in what your business is doing, what your product or service is. Now, you need to make sure that whatever your product or service is, your call to action matches, okay? So if you're a dance studio, it's not going to be you're not going to do like a get started, right? It's more like start class, right? Book your class today, right? So something like that. So make sure it matches. You don't want to make sure that they're the opposites because they're just going to confuse your customers, and then if they're confused, they don't do anything. That's bad. You don't want that, all right? So number 3, the third mistake is that you want to make sure that your website is mobile friendly. I know that sounds like that's super like simple and petty, right? But it has to happen. Your website needs to be able to be accessible on your phone. And not only that, it needs to look good on the phone, right? And that can get complicated fast because some themes in WordPress or some themes in on Wix, they don't look as good on the phone as it does on your computer. So you have to be mindful of that look and then go to that section on your website to change how it looks on your mobile phone so it still looks presentable, okay? Majority of people use their phones. Most people are not on their desktops. So cater to your audience. Give them something that's easy for them because people do what's easy. Make it mobile friendly. Okay. Number 4. So a lot of times you go to a website, it automatically asks for some kind of information like your name, your phone number, your email, or go to a spot where it'll ask you to get connected and you got to type in that stuff into a form. Now, obviously, the reason for that is for you to have a contact so you can reach back out to that person. And a lot of times what people do is they use that tool as a marketing tool, okay? So now you can put someone into a newsletter and you can constantly reach out to them, getting them tips and tricks about things going on with your product or your service. Now, I can't explain to how important it is that you cannot spam people, okay? Now, spam's a tricky word. The reason why spam is tricky is because spam is just something that you don't want. You never know what people don't want, right? You never know what people do want. What could be valuable to me may not be valuable to the next person. So the key to make sure you're not spamming your customers is make sure that whatever you are sending in that newsletter, it has something to do about your product or your service. Okay? So if you are a veterinary clinic, do not send things about what you need to eat in your diet. All right? If you are a plumber, do not talk about how to set your electricity up. Right? I know it sounds crazy, but you'd be surprised what people sometimes put in there just to make sure they're having a contact. So make sure it matches your brand, it matches your product, it matches your service, okay? And then number five, make sure your website is less about you and more about your product or service. This is not your time frame to get on your soapbox and tell the world how amazing and great you are, right? The point of your website is to talk about your business. So it's to talk about what your business does for people. Give a story to what your business does. Talk about a product that's really been helpful to a lot of your clients. Maybe put some testimonials in there. But make sure it's about your product or your service and not you. All right, so those are the 5 biggest mistakes that a lot of people make on their websites. I don't want you guys to do that because I don't want you to lose out. I want to help you grow and get to the next level up, okay? But at the end of the day, listen, if you're not a dentist, why are you pulling your own teeth? Don't mess around with that, guys. Leave that up to the professionals. So I have an offer for you guys here today where I'm going to give you 25% off. 25% off of the first year of your website. And you're going to get everything with that, okay? You're going to get your web domain, you're going to get your email set up, the design, the whole kit and caboodle, the management of it, because there is management with a website to make sure it's updated and everything's working the way you need it to. So you will have that all done for you, okay? You're all done for your website, 25% off. I'm going to put a link in the comment section for you to get that. The only way to get that 25% off is you have to use that link. That's how we're going to know that you went to the right spot, okay? So click that link, get your 25% off, schedule your time frame with me, and we will make sure that we start you off in the process, and we're going to walk you through, make it nice and easy. You won't have to worry about anything, and you will have a website that you're finally proud of. We got your back here at Hostirian. See you guys next time.